I said, O Most High, thou spakest from the beginning of the creation, even the first day, and said thus, let heaven and earth be made, and thy word, through the Spirit of the Most High, Hamashiach h.o.i, as the angel of the Most High, was a perfect work. And then was the Spirit, which is Hamashiach h.o.i, and darkness and silence were on every side. The sound of man's voice was not yet formed. Then commanded thou a fair light to come forth of thy creatures, of thy treasures, that thy work might appear. That's the light from darkness. It has nothing to do with the sun, because the sun and the moon and the stars are not created yet. Anything in the heavens have not created yet. That was the first day. Upon the second day, thou madest the spirit of the firmament. That's the sky, the ozone layer, and commanded it to part asunder and to make a division between the waters. Because everything coming from the waters, even us, coming from the waters of Judah, 12 tribes of Israel, Isaiah 48:1. That the one part might go up and the other remain beneath. One part go up and one other part remain beneath. Upon the third day, thou didst command that the waters should be gathered in the seventh part of the earth. 6 parts hast thou dried up and kept them, to the intent that of these some, being planted of the Most High and tilled, might serve thee, meaning the earth. Separated the water from the earth, made the earth come up from the water, so we have dry land and have crops and so forth and everything that's going to be on the earth as we see it is today. Well, not as today, because a lot of things are extinct, but as it was from the beginning, I might say. For as soon as thy word went forth, the work was made. As soon as thy word went forth, as soon as Hamashiach h.o.i, as the angel of the Most High, hearing the voice of the Most High, went forth. I hope you're seeing this in the spirit. The work was made. As he said, what you see the Father do, that's what he does. For immediately there was great and innumerable fruit, and many and diverse pleasures for the taste, and flowers of unchangeable color, and odors of wonderful smell. And this was done the third day. That's the third day. Upon the fourth day, thou commandest that the sun should shine, and the moon give her light, and the stars should be in order. That's the fourth day. So the sun has nothing to do with the light. The light comes out from darkness. The darkness comes out, take away the light. The sun has its order, the moon has its order. And gave it them a charge to do service unto man that was to be made. Gave them a service to man that should be made. That's the fourth day. The fourth day. Upon the fifth day, thou said unto the seventh part, where the waters were gathered, that it should bring forth living creatures, fowls and fishes, and so it came to pass. For the dumb water and without life brought forth living things at the commandment of the Most High, that all people might praise thy wondrous works. And understand this. On this fifth day, if you go to, it brought out all living creatures, right? So when you look at 2 Corinthians 5:17, just for one, it says, therefore, if any man be by Hashem, Mashiach, in the name of the Lord and Savior, he is a new creature. You see? So we are considered as creatures also. So it tells you in Genesis, the first chapter, that's what it's going over in Ezra. Because remember, we had to bring everything back to us, because we had lost the laws. So when you look at Genesis, the first chapter, and in verse 20, it says, And the Most High said, Genesis 1:20, and the Most High said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life. The moving creature that hath life. So we're considered creatures that have life, don't we? That's why it says, therefore, if any man in 2 Corinthians 5:17, therefore, if any man be in Mashiach, if you rolling by Hashem Mashiach, what's the name of the Lord and Savior, going to the Most High, he is a new creature. He is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. That's right. So that's when people were created as creatures. So, going back to 2nd Esdras. Verse 49. Then dost thou ordain two living creatures. The one dost thou call Enoch, and the other Leviathan. Two living creatures. One Enoch, one Leviathan. And did separate the one from the other for the seventh part, namely where the water was gathered together, might not hold them both. So couldn't be, both couldn't hold Leviathan and Enoch, the waters. Unto Enoch thou gavest one part, which was dried up the third day, which is the earth, that he should dwell in the same part, wherein are 1,000 hills. But unto Leviathan, like in the mountains, like what they call Bigfoot and all that, but unto Leviathan thou gavest the seventh part, namely the moist, or the sea, and has kept him to be devoured of whom thou wilt and when. Kept him, Leviathan. That's why I think Leviathan in the Bermuda Triangle. Everything go over there, falls down in. You make that, because that circle could draw things into it. Man, how fast is he going to be able to draw anything? You fly over that Bermuda Triangle, you ain't coming out of there. But unto Leviathan thou gavest the seventh part, namely the moist, the sea, and hast kept him to be devoured of whom thou wilt and when. Upon the sixth day thou gavest commandment unto the earth, that before thee it should bring forth beasts, cattle, and creeping things, insects. And after these Adam also, whom thou madest the master of all thy creatures, including men and women, of him come we all. Because we all come from Shem, Ham, and Japheth, Noah's sons. And the people whom thou hast chosen, who are the 12 tribes of Israel. All this have I spoken before thee, O Most High, because thou madest the world for our sakes. Hear that? Say he made the world for our sakes. That's why when you look at 2nd Esdras 7 and verse 10, and I said, it is so, Most High. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion, the 12 tribes of Israel portion, because for their sakes I made the world. Read you again. Even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. We all die. Going back to 2nd Esdras 6. Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Most High, because thou madest the world for our sakes. So he made the whole world for our sakes, for the 12 tribes of Israel's sake. As for the other people, these other nations, which also come of Adam, because you either come from Shem, Ham, or Japheth, thou hast said that they are nothing. He have said that thou is nothing. What did he say this at? Isaiah 40 and 17. Isaiah 40, thou hast said that they are nothing. Isaiah 40 and 17. And I know a lot of people be upset, but it is the truth. That's all we got. We got to understand the truth. Say, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. Well, that's all nations. That's including the Israelites. No, read verse 1. Let's go to verse 1. Isaiah 41 and 2. Comfort ye, my people. We done proved that the Most High's people are the children of Israel from Exodus 3 and 10. Said the Most High. He said, speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, which are the children of Israel, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished. Hear that? So our warfare against the Most High is accomplished. We're to come out of the world to be righteous and keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, that our warfare against him, look what he said. The warfare is accomplished, right? Look at James 4 and 4. Why he said, well, our warfare, this is our warfare, and some of you still there. You better come out of it, though. Listen, James 4 and 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? That make you be at war with the Most High. Enmity means make you at war with the Most High, to be friendship of this world. Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High. So you're a friend of this world, you're the enemy of the Most High. That's why he's telling Israel in verse 2 of Isaiah the 40th chapter, speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, to the Israelites, and cry unto her, and that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, our sins are pardoned. For she have received of the Most High's hand double, hear that, double for all her sins. We have received of the Most High's hand double for all our sins. So when you see the Most High say in Revelation 18, we receive double for all our sins. So when you see he say he gonna visit the sins of the Edomites, as it said in Lamentations 4:22, then when you see what he says in Revelation 18 and 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double, it's saying. So that's just justice from the Most High. That's how he operates. He gave us justice by giving us double. So they will get justice by getting double too. So when you see, that's not talking about the Israelites when he says in Isaiah 40, he just told us our warfare is over. It's accomplished. Now he's telling us in Isaiah 40 and 17, all nations before him are as nothing. Because he said in 2 Esdras 6 and 56, as for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing. So it's saying that, so where did he say that at? Thou hast said that they are nothing. So you got to say, where did he say that at? He said it right here in Isaiah 40 and 17. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing. And vanity, worthless. Don't mean anything. That's to the Most High. Verse 15, behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, one drop that you can fall from a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance, a little dust on a scale. Behold, he taketh the isles, the people in the islands, as a very little thing. Now, going back to 2 Esdras 6 and 56. As for the other people which also come of Adam, which we just read about in Isaiah 40th chapter 17 verse and the 15th verse, thou hast said that they are nothing. We read that in Isaiah 40 and 17. But be like unto spittle, it's saying. And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. We just read that. And now, O Most High, behold, these heathen, these other nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us, masters over us, and to devour us. As we read in Zechariah 11 and 5, whose oppressors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. But now, O Most High, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be masters over us and to devour us. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover. Exodus 4:22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus said the Most High, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. See, we the Israelites. 2 Esdras 6:57. And now, O Most High, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be masters over us and to devour us. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. Given into their hands. If the world now just a moment.